Political uncertainty remains as Trump strikes temporary tariff deal. The impacts of Donald Trump's long-praised pledge to use tariffs as a political cudgel started to come in focus Monday, even as the president cut last-minute deals with some of the country's closest allies, allowing him to back down from his initial threats. On Saturday, Trump announced that he would slap broad 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, both U.S. allies, and 10% tariffs on China, a political foe. The move was expected, but it still sparked fears about the rising cost of goods across the U.S. economy. That concern particularly potent because Trump campaigned heavily on lowering costs and easing inflation. If they are fully implemented, Trump's tariff proposal would affect the American household's purchasing power by $1,000 to $1,200 annually, according to the Budget Lab at Yale University. The first domino to fall came early Monday when Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum announced a deal had been reached to delay tariffs on her country by 1 month in return for Mexico's agreeing to beef up its presence at the border with the United States with 10,000 members of its National Guard. It was an effort to placate the Trump administration, which at times has been inconsistent with its messaging about the rationale for tariffs, but has consistently said curbing the flow of drug trafficking into the United States is a main focus. Trump officials quickly took a victory lap after the announcement, even as several steps to avoid a potential heated trade war remain. So for literally 3 days, I heard the fear from the left of this country say that these tariffs will make America's life worse. J.D. Vance said at an event in Ohio, response to questions from NBC News. And what actually happened in the Mexico government was so afraid of the tariffs that they actually are taking their border enforcement and their anti-cartel activity more seriously. And so pretty much he did the same exact kind of a deal with Canada as well, where he just placed people asked them to place troops at the border to stem the flow of fentanyl. And he also guaranteed that he would try to stem the flow of illegal guns going into Mexico. I mean, when I look at this, man, this is not a victory at all. This is not a victory of any sorts. This is really you understanding that 70% of our fruits and vegetables come from Mexico.
And 70% of our gas and natural gas and oil come from Mexico and Canada. Absolutely. See, the whole thing is Canada's like, hey, you want to play games? Hey, we're going to take all your alcohol off the shelf. We're not going to sell American products. They have a trail where you used to be able to walk through it to get to Canada. They cut it off. They said, now you got to go through the proper channels. Canada ain't got to play no games with us. They don't. And Mexico's like, oh, you want to play some games? Hey, we'll make your bell peppers $10 a pound.
What about? I mean, you got to look at avocados too. There's just so much that we could not have won that war. I mean, we would have won it overall. Don't get me wrong. America has a much stronger economy, but the American citizen, grocery prices, fuel prices. I mean, the whole Northeast basically being out of power. What do we think would have happened?
Well, I mean, think about it. He went to China also, right? China's like from lip balm to sneakers to clothes. Man, everything that you buy at Walmart comes from China. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Make America Great hats come from China.
Target, everywhere we buy cheaper goods, they come from places like China
and Taiwan
or Mexico. You know what I mean? They make a lot of our cheaper goods now.
People are like, they should make it American. I'm like, bro, you can't afford for them to make things American.
And they act like they don't understand that. It's crazy to me that a person doesn't understand that if you want, we need livable wages. Which one do you want? Well, you want cheaper goods or livable wages? Well, you can't have both.
Most of the people that I see that complaining, like that say a lot of that stuff, they're retired anyways. It's a lot of retirees got something to say, about, hey, well, they should be doing this. They should be doing that. I'm like, you don't even have to come around us. You sit at home all day and don't do, for the moment you get to sit at home because that ain't going to happen last long for you.
Yeah, they're going to raise that retirement age too because they need them, man. They need you to get that last few years of work out.
They said what they're doing right now to the retirement system. They said Social Security is going to be drained in 6 years.
Look what Medicaid. Look, man, was it Medicaid that whole entire system went down. That was part of the freeze.
It's still down in some states. Still down.
They act like they don't understand that. He directed. You think that just went down on that day for no reason? That was an accident. That was an accidental thing that went down that day when he froze all the government programs. When he's talking about food stamps, Medicaid, he don't care about y'all. He don't at all. You're of no use to him if you cannot produce. If you can't produce in this country, you're of no use anymore. Now you're just a drain on the economy. How do I get rid of you? What do you think COVID was about? I would say that for Canada. For China. What do you think that was about? It directly affected people of 70 plus years age. They're like, man, we got all these old people on the payroll we got to take care of. Let's go ahead and implement something that's not going to kill people who are younger. Let's go ahead and knock y'all out the way because then I don't have to pay you anymore for all the stuff, all the entitlement programs that I have for you.
Yeah.
Y'all better start acting like you understand and think. What have they done in this country consistently? worked you from the time you're 18 to 65. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as you can retire for a few years, you get sick because they're giving you this bullshit food, had you drinking all this bullshit water, and then you get sick. You got to go to the hospital. You ain't got good health insurance. So what you got to do? Sell your house. Because now, if you want to live for a few more years, sell your house. You got to beat this cancer.
And now you're going to go work. Now you're going to go live in an assisted living facility that takes 70% of your check.
Period.
Tops. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of your check,